Chancellor Robinson, a 25-year elderly person who was seriously beaten and killed by a companion during a gathering excursion to Mexico, has been connected to new proof from one perspective. The U.S. government is treating the case genuinely, yet they are not expected to do as such by regulation. Companions of Robinson first roll their family, and the police that she passed on from liquor harming anyway. This has since been uncovered to be wrong. Welcome everybody, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be taking a gander at Cabo 6 in a tough situation after Shanquella's companions release stunning proof. Definitely you heard it, ideal for quite a long time. The homicide of Shanquila Robinson has gotten broad media inclusion. Nancy Elegance, a regarded lawful examiner and TV columnist in the U.S., has willingly volunteered to advance mindfulness and gather extra proof Robinson's homicide was probably coordinated by her Cabo 6 voyaging colleagues. They committed a terrible demonstration and afterward messed with proof by giving Robinson's family and the U.S. specialists counterfeit statements. Individuals are currently transparently scrutinizing the state's regulations because of Nancy's effortlessness, huge public effect. Shanquila Robinson's story is a terrible representation of how equity can be obstructed, and it exhibits the meaning of straightforwardness and trustworthiness and criminal examinations. I completely concur with Nancy's position on this issue. Permitting people to just escape to one more country to deal with debates starts a perilous trend, as it infers that they can act without risk of punishment and keep away from the outcomes of their activities. The new instance of the Cabo 6 is an extraordinary outline of this, as the individual included were allowed to get back to the U.S. without result, notwithstanding their associated contribution in the homicide. With a woman in Mexico, the general population has predominantly invited Nancy's endeavors to look for equity for the person in question and her family. One individual, Elegance, even lauded Nancy for her unrelenting obligation to the case. Lizard Robinson, the mother of the casualty, was rankled by the first lies uncovered to her in regards to the justification for her little girl's homicide, and a man of the capture and discipline for every one of those blameworthy. Nancy's journey for equity in the Shanquella murder case was praiseworthy, as she drove no stone unturned. She found that somebody had recorded the occasion, paving the way to the homicide, which served to strengthen the Cabo 6 charges. Regardless of this confirmation, the culprits have not yet been caught or indicted. The recording being referred to has fundamentally modified the case's direction. The video was recorded by a male, and it shows Shanquilla being violently beaten by one more young lady. As referenced by Nancy, the guilty party might have been slapping, scratching, punching, kicking, and pulling knife, while his hair on the reconnaissance film, she had all the earmarks of being distant from everyone else, unprotected and unequipped for retaliating as dissident. Tamika Mallory, uncovered at a public interview addressing the Shanquilla murder case, the plan to kill was manifest. The assault on Shanquella got back from getaway with a harmed spine and neck, was caught on tape. The poisonousness of the talk in the video enhanced the harmfulness that Shanquella persevered out of the hands of her supposed companions. A few people got letters of appreciation lauding Knifewilla's patience and persistence during the circumstance. She passed on the grounds that she represented harmony in any event. When taught to retaliate, many individuals can become trapped in harmful fellowships, similarly as they would become caught in horrible associations with poisonous accomplices to communicate fortitude with the casualty's family and start the recuperating system. Walks, fights, and gigantic houses of worship were held all through the states. Accordingly, of the video, individuals have joined together to look for equity for Shanquella and her family, as the recording struck devastation on the public. The suspect should be rebuffed, and there should be a victory of equity. Even after the post-mortem examination was finished, it was clear that the two young ladies had supported extreme injury, including blood force injury to the temple grating rubs, and broke neck and spinal bones. Inebriation with liquor isn't the main source of her demise. The legitimate group, remarkably Ben Crump and Suan, have put forth uncommon attempts to propel the case quickly by finding new contentions and key observers to help their position soon, as requested that the Cabo 6 be captured and removed from the U.S. to Mexico so the Mexican government might arraign the charged as per his own regulations. Suan expressed wonder at the U.S. legislatures and adaptability. In this matter, the lawful group presented a letter to the leader of the U.S., Joe Biden, mentioning his help with the case.